if it was me that was picking people out, I wouldn't be going into a team and necessarily, there's my highest performer, I'll have all those people. It's actually the people who emotionally would gain the most from this for me, and have the drive to carry it on. That's what's important. It's not whether they're your highest performers, it's not whether they're the best managers. It's the people who are really going to drive this, and the people who care about other people. Those are the people that I thought were on the course with us. I think they were all people.
With the emotions thing, it's funny because obviously there was more guys than girls in the group on the fun, but the guys, they spoke a lot more about their emotions, so it was like, wow, okay, guys actually do have emotions.
we didn't know we had them until we went on there.
I think there's, you know, one of the things that fundamentally we were trying to tackle was that if you look at most organisations and the way they talk about performance, they have a sort of sense of what good looks like, and you know, they usually have competencies. And actually what they're trying to do is get everybody to hear, and actually, you know, what happens is you've got, you know, people who are that kind of shape, you know, and you've got people who are that kind of shape. And actually, if you can take the people who are here and help them come up to here, but at the same time also work with those people in the sense that I can make you the best you can possibly be at this, so I can actually move your performance up to there. What you do is you shift the bar for your whole organisation, because good is now here, but you've got excellence. And this focus on, you know, it's like me, BT accepts that my performance is probably like that. They are never going to make me good at this. I'm rubbish. I really am. Nothing they can do to me will ever make me good at this bit. But my God, they've made me better and better at this.
It's concentrating on your strengths.
Yeah. You know,
and that's one of the big parts about this coaching.
And the real thing is, you know, understanding that it doesn't matter, I'll never be any good, because James is shaped like that. So again, you know, we're now up here. And that's one of the things that we've been trying to release and trying to get managers to understand. But fundamentally, again, there are shifts that need to happen, and I think in my industry, in the HR industry, as well, this acceptance that in order to get up there, it's not just about every individual achieving a standard in everything.
And one of the other people on the course, we've sort of realised that when we were going through our strengths and looking at those kind of things, and to a certain extent looking at our weaknesses to a certain extent, we realised how much we complemented each other, and that she had the strengths that I didn't possess, and I had the strengths that she didn't possess, and put those together, and an amazing team to work with. And it was about sort of realising where you can do that, and that was quite a powerful moment, really, for both of us to realise that we could bounce off each other in such a good way, you know.
But what we're actually building is the capacity to build great teams. And you know, that's the thing that I think is so special and so unique about this. It is a movement in a sense. It's also, we know that, you know, the whole nature of the world is changing more quickly. I mean, in the last 12 months, as a human race, we created more unique data than we did in the 5,000 years that preceded it. So we know that change is a constant, and the speed of change continues. So what we're actually doing is, again, through the work around the whole person, in that environment, what you need in terms of sort of characteristics and skills are also the things that perhaps don't come out as competencies. Things around an ability to deal with ambiguity, mental resilience, how you get on with each other. Those things, you know, the buzzword for future really is collaboration. And if you look at our sector in particular, but it's true of most other sectors, BT can be partner supplier, competitor to the same business in the same place at more or less the same time. You know, because it's a deal-rich environment. So that there is a complexity of human interaction and understanding that we're finding isn't natural in the kind of people who start off as apprentices and engineers, where they are trained to say this works or it doesn't, it's black or it's white. You need that, but this way we're also getting those other broader skills that you need nowadays to do that interaction in business. And I really think that that's something that's important to try and take that message back, because again, fabulous for BT if we can do that, but we also need those other companies to be able to do it, because you need it to be reciprocated.
The biggest change for me has been my perception of seeing things through. So I'm an engineer, and quite often I can get into a frustrated state when I'm engineering, where you can be on a job and you've had enough, you don't want to see it through, you've got to that point. That's completely changed for me. The way I look at it's changed. The way I just spot my emotions coming along has changed, and the way I react to it has changed. So I'm now going out there and less stress, a lot less stress, because I'm aware of what's causing that stress, and it's myself that's causing that stress predominantly. And so because of that, I can control that, and it's making me a lot more happy in my place of work. Something that recently I've been discussing with my coach is about vision and what I perceive vision to be. Prior to doing the course, vision to me was something that was tangible. I could grab it, it was a promotion, it was having that house, being in that country, going on holiday, all those kind of things. That's changed. This week actually, I had a bit of a light bulb moment, and vision suddenly changed to something that's internal. Vision to me now is how I feel, what emotions are going on, what emotions I'm happy with, what I'm not about the situation that's around me, but how I perceive the situation around me. And that's been a massive change, because basically it enables me to be happy in every situation regardless of what's going on around me, and that's very, very important.
The actual coaching I've sort of took on board with my cohort myself that I've got at the moment, so I'm sort of not only got the drive to go on and make something of myself, but I'm sort of using the techniques to help other people as well. Maybe not to guess, I wouldn't say I'm a coach, but I mean I'm sort of using techniques probably I wouldn't have used a year ago, maybe to get the best out of the people I'm maybe teaching, I suppose, at the moment. So
well, for me it was just more about that realisation, being more aware of things. And with regard to the workplace where I work, I think if I start going in a downward spiral, just saying, oh, this is not good, this is not good, then someone else will just add on to it, and they'll be going in a downward spiral, and then someone else will. Then I know that I've got the power to change that, so I can go onto this circle of possibility, and then that will mirror onto other people as well. And I think that's important, the mirroring. If I start doing something, so it's just about the control that you have as well, control of your own feelings. It's not someone else who makes you angry. It's you've got control of if you get angry, you've got control of if you're upset, because Suki was saying that 6 seconds the chemicals just flood into you, so you've got 6 seconds to decide if you want to be angry or if you don't. So it's completely up to you really, and it has a big effect on everyone around you. And that's what I realised, especially in the workplace, you get a lot of people going down with spirals, isn't it? So it's you can change that.
It's an interesting sort of concept that you'd never think about, to be honest, sort of emotional intelligence. I mean, skepticism, like you're saying, what's that all about? You're like, oh, I've got my job, I don't need to know about that, I can get it done and go home and have my dinner. But you sort of think, you're thinking about how you're feeling, and sort of, which you've never done before. And I know what you say, if you're getting sort of, maybe, I mean, I'm a bad moaner in the house, I moan all the time, so stop moaning, stop moaning, you're bringing me down with you, that's what she says. And the downward spiral is that basically. And now it's sort of, if you can make yourself more positive and get a better outlook on things, makes your personal life, your relationship and your work life 10 times better. So I mean, even sometimes it doesn't happen, but I mean, just knowing that you have control over it, even that sort of knowing has helped me sort of thing. I might not always use it, but I know that if I'm in a dark place sort of thing, I know I can get out of it because it's up to me and no one else. And that sort of empowers you a little bit because you know everything's down to yourself.
Certainly there are changes that people have noticed in myself, I can say that, in and outside of work. Probably the most major one is listening for me. That people have noticed that I take more time to listen to them and properly listen to them, and there is a big difference. I've always been a person previously who, when I'm listening, I try and give advice, okay, and always try and fix the problem. Now I'm very aware of the fact that it's probably not always the best thing to do, and so that's probably the major change that people have recognised in me, in and outside of work.
I think, for me, sort of noticing the difference is sort of, I haven't really noticed it in myself because I've sort of grown, and that not without noticing, maybe. But I mean, example sort of thing. Say, if you said to me 2 years ago, you're gonna have 90 people to look after, reviewing, assessing through their 1 year journey of their apprenticeship, I'd be like, no chance, you know.
It's a hell of a lot.
But it's like, and now I've sort of done it with that because I'm so like, I didn't even think about it. I just sort of got on with it, if you like.
Okay, but obviously one of my prime objectives, and it's obviously Caroline's too, is that we embed this into our business as usual approach, and we keep doing this. I'm in the process of writing budgetary requests and business cases to do that. The interesting thing, and I was talking on the way out the door just now, the interesting thing is that given our environment, given how difficult I would have anticipated this would be to get off the ground, it's been surprisingly easy. And the bit that's been easy is once we've had even the first cohort go through, we've obviously been talking about it, been doing things differently. All those managers who I would have expected to have said, no, we don't do that around here, or it's too expensive, or I don't know what they're talking about, they've been incredibly supportive. So the sort of ripple effect has been enormous. And so I'm pushing on an open door. It's easy. We've just got to find the money. But no one's saying, no, we can't do this. So the biggest battle, I thought, would be getting people to accept it. But no, they're saying it's hugely valuable, it's amazing. And in fact, I had one manager ring me up and say, I'm learning loads from my apprentice now, it's great. We are running a big organisational health programme, which recognises that we have a culture that isn't fit for what we want to be as a business in the future. So the organisational health programme looks very much at sort of engaging very differently with employees, with each other, and about the language we use and how we motivate people and leadership. So I looked at that, and I looked at the instinct stuff and went, oh, it's the same. It's the same stuff, it's all joined up. So I have plugged in our apprentices from this year, and hopefully they will bring the apprentices from last year alongside with them, yes, into the person who's leading the organisational health programme as well, to make sure that they have an opportunity here. Here's some guys on the ground here who want to actually make it happen and want to do something, so you can implement your strategy in a way that's meaningful to people actually in the business. We need for success, for business success, it's quite clear. If we're going to grow and innovate, we need people who are capable of doing that, and people who are brave enough to stand up and challenge. Go out there, guys. I'm delighted that you've come on the journey this far, and I'll do everything I can to help you, but I don't think you're going to need my help.